I'm going to just touch on a few things again. As you go to some of the county meetings, we're going to rehash this quite a bit, but for the most part, you know, this is, if you're talking about timely advice, this is it. Know your limitations of select varieties. You just heard a lot about that. Some of these have good resistance, some of them really depends on what it is. But the soil sample, the hire a scout, and be timely, all of that is something that we're going to rehash a lot. But for the most part, when we're talking about this, you know, what seed is available, what varieties are available, there are several things, again, that we can take into account and really try to help ourselves as we go along. And again, the disease resistance is by far one of the biggest things. And if you know, planted a lot of corn, you hear a lot of people say the highest yield potential you have is when you put that seed in the ground. So yes, no matter if it's corn or peanuts or whatever, your highest yield potential or the baseline for yield potential is that seed that you pick and when you put it in the ground. And a lot of what you do ahead of that, soil sampling and starting off on the right foot, can make that yield potential go one way or the other pretty quick. So, I mean, the best thing you can do, again, is soil sample and try to go, again, make use of Bob Cameright's app that's out there now. That will give you a lot of information about your tillage practices as they relate to your risk and the varieties that you want to plant. Seeding rate. Again, we're so used to 06G planting 145 to 155 pounds to the acre. As you start, you know, as these varieties start, more and more start to come out, like 13M, 12Y, some of the Florida varieties, Flow Run 107. Man, we can make use of that seed size and try to save some money. That again is a way that we can start to help ourselves out because they are quite a bit smaller than, especially 13M is quite a bit smaller than some of these other varieties. So that's just one thing. If you get an opportunity, you see that that's what you're going to do. Hey, make use of it. Don't go out there and think you need to plant 145 pounds of a 13M or a Flow Run 107. Just take that. Again, you can save $10 or $15, $20 an acre. Quality of the seed. I mentioned that earlier. Quality should be good this year. But does that mean that I need to open a bag, never look in it, and keep pouring and keep going? No. We need to be checking the bags as we're opening them, as we're pouring them, especially as some growers have gone to some of the bulk bags. You know, peanut seed is kind of like when I was working for Buying Point, they said take it like you know, take a bag of seed like you've got a little baby strap, you know, lay it on your shoulder. It is a tender subject. You know, it's a tender type of a product, you know, and if it's handled a lot, or if nobody cares how they handle it, then it could split that seed, it could damage that seed. So make sure as we open the bags and as we're pouring, if you've got a lot of splits or if they just don't look right, don't just throw them in there and keep planting. Let's find out what the problem is and try to fix it. Maybe it'll have a little bit more time to bounce back. Whether if you got irrigation, you're not missing a lick, or you can push that crop. So there's just some things that you can try. One other thing on the varieties that I've noticed over the last year or so that's making its way out to the commercial side now, definitely on some of the Florida varieties, but on the 12Y as well as the new 13M, we are getting to be, you know, they're growing a little bit more. Rank growth, and not extremely rank if you've dealt with Virginias, but they are growing a little bit better, a little bit quicker. So we'll have a little bit more dense canopy. Maybe that'll help us suppress some weeds down the road. We don't know that for certain, but it's a good thing that you know, more not like your Georgia green that just seemed like it got a foot wide and it just stopped. So it's some of the characteristics behind the new cultivars are positive, and so we want to make sure we use that and use it to our ability. Make sure you look at your maturity of those varieties. Try to, if you are going to try to plant more than just Georgia 06G, try to spread them out. Try to spread that out and get you a little bit bigger window to harvest under, because we know if we do start to get rains and in the fall, it can wreak havoc on trying to get some things together. But with that, I'll end up, and I'll be around if anybody needs to ask me any questions.